Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Ben Kump. Welcome to another YouTube video. Today, I want to talk about the importance of building and establishing a real routine, right? Yes, of course, everybody says, yeah, I have a routine of what I do every day and every week, right? And that just naturally develops. But there's a difference between the natural developed routine, right? Because our bodies, they like predictability, they like doing the same things. And there's a difference between that and actually going out of your way, thinking about a real routine that works with your schedule, enhances your life, and makes you more productive. So, again, that's exactly what I want to talk about today: a real morning routine, nightly routine, as well as just a full daily routine so that you know what you're doing from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, and making every hour of every day count. Okay, so as you can see here, got the trusty whiteboard out. And like I said, I want to talk about fully establishing a morning routine, a nighttime routine, and a whole daily routine. All three are very important. Of course, the daily routine is going to consist of the morning, of the nightly routine, but I want to talk about both of these individually, how to build them, why they're important, why they're going to make you more productive, and why they're going to bring you more success. So first off, morning routine. I have 3 bullet points here. Your morning routine should be simple. It should be about the small wins: making your bed in the morning, showering, brushing your teeth, small wins, right? And then, of course, just being realistic. You don't have to be overdoing it. You don't have to do anything over the top. The crystals and the green juice that people say you should drink in the morning. Of course, if that works for you, that's realistic for you, then of course do it. But like I said, your morning routine, it's not like it has to be something extravagant. It just has to work for you, be realistic, something that you can be consistent with, and something that actually works for you. Your morning routine can either make or break the rest of your day in terms of focus, attention, and productivity, like I've been talking about. Let me give you a scenario, right? You have an alarm, you set it for 6 a.m. You snooze it a couple times when it hits 6 a.m. in the morning. After, okay, maybe 10 or 20 minutes of snoozing, right? You're supposed to wake up at 6 a.m., but say, for example, you now wake up at 6:20 a.m. Okay, the first thing you do, turn off your alarm, you grab your phone, go on social media, answer some emails, answer some text messages. Now your mind is just trying to wake up, but now you're bombarding it with all of this different information. If you go on social media, you're going to naturally start to compare yourself or doubt yourself, what you see others posting on social media, right? So you look on your phone, that's the first thing you do. Maybe after 5-10 minutes, you decide, okay, it's finally time to get up. Maybe it's 6:30 by now. And again, you were supposed to wake up at 6 a.m., right? You go brush your teeth, maybe go upstairs, grab a cup of coffee, grab some cereal, call it a good breakfast, put some clothes on, get out, go to work, right? I'd say this is a pretty common morning routine just because it's easy, it's simple, it's the easy way out. You get to go look at your phone in the morning to wake yourself up, right? Which is obviously not the right thing to do. But let me give you a second scenario, right, of something that could be your new morning routine. Again, it has to be simple, about the small wins, and something that's actually realistic for you personally. So now for the second scenario, maybe this is something that could be a new morning routine for you if you decide some of these things are going to help you be beneficial, right? So you set the alarm for 6 a.m. The first thing you do, you wake up at 6 a.m., you turn off the alarm, you take a couple of deep breaths, you count down from 5, and once you hit 0, you get out of bed. You haven't looked at your phone yet. All you did was turn off your alarm. You're out of bed, 6:02 a.m. maybe, right? The first thing you do, make your bed a little bit, one small win. The next thing you do, hop in the shower. Maybe that's cold or hot, depending on what you want to do, right? That's another small win, waking yourself up with some hot or cold water. Brush your teeth, put on some clothes, right? Those are all a couple small wins, just building your morning, right? In pushing you into the right direction, basically. After getting dressed, you go upstairs, grab your cup of coffee. Not saying coffee is a bad thing to do. It's great in moderation if you're not doing, 5 cups of coffee every day. But you go upstairs, grab your coffee, and now for your breakfast, you're not going to grab that sugary, horrible cereal, right? Calling it healthy because there's protein in the milk. What you're going to do is you're going to grab a blender. You're going to put some frozen fruit, some spinach, some milk, some water, some ice, protein powder, peanut butter, whatever you want to put in there. And that's such an easy, healthy, quick breakfast that you can do in the morning, right? And it's in addition to your coffee. Again, it's super simple. It's almost as simple as pouring a bowl of cereal, right? You pour a couple of things in a blender cup, you press blend, and you let it, mix up for you. And then you throw it down in the morning, and there's, you know, and the great thing about these protein smoothies like this in the morning is you can allow it to work for you depending on your fitness goals, right? If you're trying to gain weight, you can throw a ton of stuff in the smoothie and have it be even 700 to 1,000 calories straight off the bat in the morning, getting a kickstart. Or if you're trying to cut, drinking your calories, liquid is going to fill up your body, and you can do a lot of water. You could do frozen fruit. You could do protein powder and peanut butter, maybe throw in some spinach, and that could be, 200 or 300 calories. So again, this protein smoothie is by far my number one recommendation for that quick breakfast for busy individuals. But after you drink your breakfast, right, because it's simple and easy with that protein smoothie, you're ready for work. You've already made your bed, showered, brushed your teeth, had a good breakfast. You have set yourself up for success. And that is why your morning routine is super, super important. And that example of a good morning routine is just exactly like I said, just one example, right? The structure of it could be something different for you. Maybe you don't shower in the morning, right? Maybe you brush your teeth after breakfast or before, whatever it may be. The structure is where you have the flexibility to create your own schedule, your own morning routine, right? But I also want to talk about some elements that you can throw into that structure in the morning that works for you. This could be stretching. Maybe right out of bed, you turn off your alarm, you get to stretching, right? You wake up your body with elongating those muscle fibers. Maybe it could be music, right? You put on some headphones, or you live alone so you can blast music throughout the house, waking you up. Quick exercise. Maybe you bust out some push-ups or some squats or sit-ups, maybe pull-ups if you have a pull-up bar right in the morning, wake yourself up. And lastly, like I said, that cold shower. Maybe this is something that works for you. It wakes you up, it gets everything moving right after you wake up, right? And these are just some elements, again, that you can throw into your morning routine. So I hope this is getting you thinking of how you can start switching up and establishing a real morning routine that is going to set you up for the rest of the day. Next, let's talk about the nightly routine. Super, super, super important. As you guys know, I'm a huge advocate of the big three, is what I call them: nutrition, exercise, and sleep, recovery. Without recovery, and you're only doing the first two, everything else still falls apart. That recovery aspect is so important. And that's why having a full established nightly routine is just as important as obviously focusing on your recovery. If you have a nighttime stretching routine, if you have a full nightly routine, this is going to help you sleep better and longer at night, right? So with a nightly routine, the first bullet point I have here is a calming action. And what I mean by this is light stretching, meditating, journaling, reading, a calming activity, something that you do every single night, probably at the same time, that's going to tell your brain, okay, we do this before we go to sleep. That means it's time to wind down. That means it's time to push out all of the business thoughts, all of the busy thoughts that we have, and allow ourselves to calm down and go to sleep. Right? So that's the first bullet point here, some type of calming action that works for you. Second here is same time. You should be trying to aim to go to bed at the same time every night. Again, it's kind of that flip of a switch in your brain, right? It hits about 10 p.m. Your brain honestly knows. You have that internal clock as you begin to build consistency with this, and that's going to tell your brain, okay, at 10 p.m. this is usually when we wind down, go to sleep, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. Lastly here, trial and error, right? And what I mean by this is try different things out with your nightly routine, right? You're going to think, okay, this actually might work. I might be able to do this every night. But then you figure out, okay, that's not what I thought it was going to produce, right? That's not going to be the change that I want. So then you try something else. This nightly routine, like I said, is just crucial, so important, and you're probably not going to get it right on the first time, right? So with some trial and error, you're going to figure out the perfect nighttime routine for you. For me, my nightly routine is every night I have a peanut butter and honey sandwich with some milk and a protein shake, right? After that, maybe that's about 30 to 45 minutes before bed, all right? I hate going to bed hungry. So that's what I do every night to start my nighttime routine. After that, come downstairs, take the clothes off, and right before I'm about to hop in the shower, I drop down, I do about 35 push-ups. That's just as many as I can do till failure with full range of motion, right? I'm not cheating on these reps. So about 35 push-ups, about 25 squats, just getting some blood flow feels good for me. It may sound weird to you, but that's what I've been doing for about 3 years now. Hop in the shower. I brush my teeth in the shower, makes everything so much easier. Hop out, moisturize the face, and then every night before I slip into bed, I do a full nighttime stretching routine. I stretch every muscle group in my body. It takes me about 7 minutes. And I've actually put all of my clients in Legacy Fitness Coaching on this same routine because I have found so much benefit from it, right? So, of course, I want my clients to benefit just the same. And then I hop into bed. I feel amazing after, right? These are the things that click in my brain and say, okay, we do this every single night. So it helps me wind down right when I'm starting to eat that peanut butter and honey sandwich, right? That's when it starts. And that's when my brain starts to wind down, tells my body to calm down, making it so much easier to fall asleep. So again, that nightly routine is crucial. Now, of course, time to talk about the whole daily routine, right? So like I said, you have a full morning routine, a full nighttime routine that you do at the end of the day, but let's talk about what you're going to do throughout every day for maximum productivity, for maximum attention. Because I know for me, it's so easy to not do the tasks that I need to do every day if I don't plan ahead first. If I have a lot of free time, I'm going to say, oh, I deserve a little bit of a break. But if I have a lot of free time and I plan how to use that free time to my advantage for future advantage, it makes it so much easier. I get more things done. So a plan, having that full daily routine is going to be super, super important. So how to structure your daily routine, what you do every day is, of course, you have that morning routine, how you start your day. Next is your work blocks, planning out when you work, if that's a 3 hour work block, and then you have a break, and then you have another 3 hour work block later on in the day, or however you structure your work, how you get things done. This is important to make sure you have it all planned out for maximum productivity. So you make or you take advantage of every minute of every hour that you work, that you need to work on your business or wherever you work, right? Next is meal structure. Same thing as the work blocks, right? You need to know when you are going to eat. Otherwise, you're going to put it off. That's going to be a sacrifice. You're not going to care if you don't plan for it, right? Say, for example, it's a busy day at work. You didn't plan when you were going to eat lunch. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect every day, but say, for example, you don't plan it out. You're going to skip lunch. You're going to skip it, or even breakfast, right? Because you didn't plan for it. You're going to say, oh, I wake up late. I'm just not going to eat breakfast. I'm going to start intermittent fasting. People often use the term intermittent fasting for just being lazy, for not wanting to cook or make breakfast in the morning, which is not a good habit. Breakfast in the morning is the most important meal, as we've heard before. It gets everything moving, kickstarts your day. So having this meal structure of when you eat breakfast, when you eat lunch, however many meals you have a day. I have 5, so it's not the traditional breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have to plan out how I'm going to fit 5 meals in my day. And what I do is I eat them at the same time, right? So it hits 2 p.m., that's my first lunch of the day, right? It hits about 3:30 or 4 p.m. That's my second one. So I have it all structured out. I know exactly when I'm eating every day so that I can get all of the nutrients, all of the calories that I need every day for maximum progress, so that I can get the results that I want to with my physique, with my brain. I need energy for everything, and that comes with the meals and nutrition. Next is exercise structure. Pretty much the same thing as meals, right? It's easy to put off exercise if you don't plan for it. After work, you didn't plan on working out. Of course, you're going to go lay on the couch. You're going to be mentally fatigued from work. And if you don't plan for it, you're not predicted to go work out in the later on in the day. It's just not going to happen. You're going to put it off. You're going to say, oh, I'll just go tomorrow, I'm too tired today. But if you have it planned out, even if you're tired after work, you knew you were going to go to the gym that day, so you get in anyway, no matter how you feel. And that's why it's important to have a plan. And then, of course, the nightly routine. After you've done everything throughout your day, you have that perfect ending to your day so that you can do it all again tomorrow, right? So every hour of every day counts. It matters. If you want to be great, no matter what the aspect is or what you want to be great in, the only way to get there is to have it all planned out. You know exactly what you need to do every day to get there in the future, in a year's time, in 10 years' time, or in 50 years' time. I don't care the timeline. You need a plan, you need structure, and you need to have predictability. Unpredictable actions bring on unpredictable results, right? So if you have predictable action, you do things with intent, it's an easy equation. You know exactly what you're going to get out of it, right? So I've been ranting for too long. I hope all of this makes sense. I hope you understand now that routine and structure matters so much. And I hope you start thinking more about how you are going to take advantage of every day, use it to advantage you in the future, and get what you want out of life, continuing to progress every single day. So again, I hope all of this makes sense. If you guys have any questions at all, make sure to leave them in the comments below, but start being more cognizant of how you use every day, how you spend your time, and build a full structure morning, night, and daily to your advantage. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments at all, make sure to leave them in the comments of this video down below. If you don't already, make sure to follow my Instagram. I'll tag it here. Make sure you keep up with all the things I'm posting on there. That's what I'm most active on, but I'm going to start being more active on YouTube because it's that long form content. I can talk a little bit more and engage with you guys a little bit more. So again, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.